"I've always done what I thought was right and in the best interest of the child," Richard Phillips once said. "Not necessarily for the child at the point in time, but what I thought was the best thing in the long run." Born in Norborne, Missouri in 1940, Richard was the first son of Mike and Alma Phillips. One of the most influential people in Richard's life was his brother Gary. Gary contracted polio at a young age and wore braces on his legs for the rest of his life. By watching him, Richard learned to appreciate the challenges and successes of people with disabilities. His brother Ted was born with brain damage and has limited abilities. Ted still lives on the family farm, where Richard cares for him. Growing up, Richard's community expected its young people to work hard, go to college, and do well. Community leaders would ask where children were going to go to college, not if they were going. Richard graduated from Norborne High School in 1959. Richard attended Central Missouri State University in Warrensburg and received his bachelor's degree in education in 1965. He began teaching at Odessa High School in 1966 and then moved to Pleasant Hill High School in 1967. Continuing his own education, he received his master's degree in 1968. From 1970 to 1972, Richard was a graduate assistant football coach at CMSU. While there, he obtained an educational specialist degree in 1972. He became the superintendent at the Hale R1 School District in 1972 and stayed until 1977. From 1977 to 79, he served as the superintendent of Brunswick Schools. Bob Bartman, who was at the time an assistant to Commissioner Mallory, asked Richard to join the department as an assistant director for the supervision of instruction. The state of Missouri is forever grateful that he accepted the invitation. By 1984, Richard began examining the reporting requirements and standard expectations of all sections within the department. There were a lot of moving parts that did not seem to fit together. Richard also began to take a critical look at the current classification program that had been in place since 1950. He realized that the current system was like driving a Model T down I-70. In 1987, the department started pilot reviews. Thanks to Richard, Missouri was one of the first states in the country to adopt this robust system of classification that fostered school improvement. Richard directed the state's classification and accreditation program for 14 years and also directed what became known as the Missouri School Improvement Program, or MSIP. The MSIP program continues today and focuses on developing structures of support to enhance the academic performance of students. In 1993, Richard left the department to serve as the Assistant Superintendent for Educational Services in the Fort Osage School District. He was also instrumental in establishing the Show Me Curriculum Administrators Association. In 2000, Richard opened his own consulting company, Phillips Keynote Consultants. He learned support was needed for at-risk children and families, and the Missouri Student Success Network was born. Richard also served on the University of Central Missouri's Alumni Association Board of Directors from 2002 to 2004 and was president in 2004. He served on the UCM Board of Governors from 2005 to 2010, earning emeritus status in 2011. In 2010, Richard returned to the department as the interim deputy commissioner. He helped develop protocol for dealing with state financial shortfall and worked with all state agencies to provide structures of support for the public schools in Missouri. In 2013, he was named a Friend of Education by the Missouri Association of School Administrators and was inducted for the Distinguished Service into the UCM Athletic Hall of Fame. Richard has 3 children, Tammy, Steve, and Mike. Tammy is a teacher in the Jefferson City Public Schools. Mike is a teacher in Raytown, and Steve is a teacher in Blue Springs. All 3 are UCM graduates. Richard and his wife Charlotte reside in Lake Tapawingo, Missouri. They have 6 grandchildren, Savannah, Ethan, Olivia, Lydia, Kaylee, and Lauren. Richard enjoys teaching them about the important things in life, to cherish their memories, and the need to protect and preserve our heritage to pass on to future generations. When he left the department in 1993, his colleagues wrote that Richard's friendship, leadership, vision for the future, tireless efforts, and sacrifice for improved educational opportunities for the young people of Missouri will always be remembered. Friendship is forever. He is a pioneer.